Hey everybody, welcome to the video, welcome to the channel, and let's see, a couple things came up today as far as eBay goes, and we'll bring those up too. I do want to talk about, you know how people mention listings are being removed without their knowledge on eBay. I might have a potential, answer to why they may not know they're removed. And then I was listening to, I listen to music as I'm working sometimes. Sometimes I watch videos, sometimes I listen to music. And a song popped up from Faith Hill called The Secret of Life. And kind of got me thinking about the eBay secret. And we'll look at some what sold as well, too. So stay tuned for that. Please like the video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, comment down below. And if you want to just jump to the what solds, you can look at the timeline. There's a chapter there. You can jump straight over to that. I already poured a little glass here. The whiskey of choice for tonight. And I'm still feeling a little sick. So if I do sound a little bit different, I'm still feeling a little bit of the effects. Hoping it would have been gone by now, but we're still got some lingering issues, but feeling a lot better. Way better. But, okay, we have a Maker's Mark. So, Maker's Mark, really I keep saying my personal favorites because they're kind of like all my everything in my cabinet is a personal favorite, my own favorite. Then I find new favorites as well too. Very few that are not my favorites, but this is a Maker's Mark, really good. This is Rob Samuel's grandson of the founders personal selection 2020 edition, and this is a 108.5 proof. So smaller bottle. This came in a collection of 3 different special Maker Marks bourbons bottles. So got a little pour, letting it breathe just a little bit. I got get swirl. A little whiskey snobbery, I guess you could call it if you want. However, I know people that are a lot more whiskey or involved in the whole. There's crazy collectors, okay? There's crazy collectors in every, no matter what. It doesn't matter what it is, there's crazy collectors out there. And just when you think you might be have too much in your collection, there's someone that probably can outdo you. I do know a guy you walk into their house and it is like a liquor store in there. It is like a little store. And it's all whiskeys. I'm like, wow, that's wild. And then we'll have, I've been there with and enjoyed a tasting, and we'll taste it right out of the bottle, then we'll let it sit for a little while, taste it again, go back to it, let it sit for a little bit longer, go back to the taste, and just look at the evolution of the flavors and all that as it sits out, and basically get some air in it. So I don't typically do that. I don't think I like it. I don't crack open the bottle and just throw it right back. No, I let it breathe a little bit, and then we go right into a nice little sip here. I haven't had this one in a little bit. Ooh, I got nice. One thing with bourbon for me, when I'm having bourbon and I'm drinking it, it automatically reminds me of I get immediately cherry Coke. It's the first thing I think of, just cherry Coke. There's a really good. I think it's a black cherry soda. I think it's black cherry soda at BJ's. That's really good. If you like soda, Coke, really delicious. And that's what a lot of bourbons remind me of. Just cherry soda. Nice, sweet, really good. That's a good bourbon. A little bit of heat. Definitely a little bit of heat on that one. Definitely a higher proof than the standard Maker's Mark. I mean, it's not wildly high, but still, you can still taste that. You can get that heat. Okay. What happened today? eBay released seller performances. I didn't have any of this prep for these couple of things really quick I'm going to bring up. But released your performance, kind of give you a snapshot of your performance for the year. It showed you like what your first sale was of the year, what your highest price, highest, sales of the day of the year. Now, the interesting part was where you are, a top performer. And I fell into the top 5% of women's bags, handbags, purses. I outperformed to 98%. So technically, I'm in the top 2% there. I'm in the top 2% in that category. Now, in the group I'm a part of, there were many people in the top 5%. Some people were, 97%. Some people were at the 96%. And I saw some people at 10%, some people at 20%. So everybody's kind of posting their, their this little snapshot. And, purses, what's surprising to me is not the fact that I sell purses. I sell a lot of purses. I sell purses all the time. I don't talk about it all the time, but I sell purses all the time. And yes, it is one of my top performing categories personally, but I'm a small fish in a big pond. And I didn't think I was that big of a purse seller on eBay, but apparently I'm within the top 2%. Now, I don't know if this is like eBay, worldwide, which would be kind of wild if it is. Stateside is still pretty wild that I'm in technically in the top 2%. And it's kind of cool, I guess. And I think their numbers are right. I mean, like I said, I sell purses all the time, so purses are constantly going out the door. And maybe other people just are not selling at the rate that I am, and showing great success at it as well too. Now, I did meet somebody that is a designer purse seller, and at an eBay event, and she does like maybe a few, like one purse a week or so. She was very, very part-time at selling, a well-seasoned seller, but still very, very part-time. And when I talked to her about what I do and how many I sell, then they're kind of like blur, like, wow, you sell like yeah, you look at me, I'm not really, you wouldn't think of me as a purse seller or somebody that can identify great quality purses, but what can I say? Okay, and then the other thing too is eBay. This was just brought up by Tech and Sports. eBay next year, starting in January. I didn't get an email on this yet, but I guess emails are going out that there will be several new condition categories for clothing. It's more specifically used clothing. There's going to be, I think it's at 3 or 4, it might be 3. Like, there's kind of like how when you're listing media like DVDs and stuff like that, there's fair, good, excellent. They're going to have that as well for clothing too. So something to be aware of. For me, I don't really sell, like, my clothing is all behind the camera over there, so not very much. It doesn't affect me too much. And something to be aware of as a clothing seller, you're going to need to, hopefully you get the email. If you don't, watch Tech and Sports video, because you will need to update your listings. They will automatically update to good for the U.S. I think in Australia it goes into effect sometime in January. The U.S. it's in February. I forget the exact date that he mentioned. Like I said, I have not got the email yet, but I'm pretty sure it's coming, and we will know more about that soon. But come February, they'll automatically bump everything to good. But yet, if it qualifies as an excellent or higher than good, then you will need to go in there and manually make that change. If you have a lot of clothing, and I feel, making lots of change. I know there's a lot of clothing resellers out there that have a lot of inventory on eBay. I think anything more than a few hundred, 500 pieces, 1,000, 2,000 pieces, even with a bulk editor, I mean, that's still that's still going to be a lot of work to get all those listings updated. And I think there's something like about a 60-day window to get them all updated before eBay takes action. Um, Nothing bad. They just kind of just take them down, so that way you can go in there and make the updates and changes. So I don't have that much, and it looks like they're really wanting to drill down what's good quality used clothes. And it's for me, like I said, when I buy clothes, it's got to be great clothes, because I don't even like it. I don't even like looking for clothing, looking at the clothing at all. So that clothing already has to knock my socks off when I'm buying it. For not only just does it have to have a great price, but it has to be in good condition as well too. So most of my stuff I would believe would be in the higher part of used. I hope. Nothing for new. I think new already has new. There's new with tags. And I think there's new with tags. I think there's new without tags. And I think there might be like a new with defects, I believe. You can correct me in the comments down below. I don't think I've listed a piece of clothing in a... No, wait, I did list a t-shirt the other day. But I listed it just as used because it was a used t-shirt. But I'm not really a clothing person. I don't really like clothing. So there's that too as well. Maybe more to come in the future, but let's jump into what I wanted to talk about today in this video. And the first is, let me just look at the previous page, make sure I didn't write anything down. I don't think I did. I'm keeping all these notes down and everything. Come on. Is that a page? Oh no, it's just a really thick page. I thought it was 2 pages. It's really thick. Okay. Why do people say their listings are being removed from eBay? Or why people think their items are removed without eBay telling them they're being removed. They go in there. I see so many channels where sellers will be like, oh, I'm going through my inventory and eBay removed this. Or, no one told me that this is being removed. I didn't hear anything this is being removed. I've had this sitting in my inventory for, 2, 3, 4 years. And, who knows how long it's been off of eBay for. Well, what prompted me to even bring this up is, first of all, not only do I see the videos, and people talk about it every so often, fairly often, is I saw someone's video and they were showing they were going into their metrics and everything like that, but they quickly flashed their messages, and they had over I think it was like 350 something unread messages on eBay. I'm like, wow. And I know other people have mentioned this as well too, about they don't really look at their messages on there, send them a message through other channels in order to get in touch with them if you wanted to, make a deal on something, but they don't look at messages. And when it comes to your email, do whatever you want with your email, in my opinion. I know a lot of people that just let their email just pile up. I know at the hospital I work at, there's people who have thousands of unread messages. Okay, and these are these are fairly serious emails that people should be looking at, but now they'll just let them pile into their inbox and then clear them all out, and then all right, get another few thousand in there unread, clear those out. However, those people are still getting paid no matter what. When you are running a business of any kind, selling anything, basically, this is our livelihood. This is how we make money. I feel that we really, really need to be not just reading messages, but answering them as quickly as possible if there are any questions in there from sellers. Now, when I saw this, it was a little shocking to me, because it is a little shocking when people say, I don't look at eBay, I don't look at the messages, I don't look at eBay messages or anything like that, because it's still a business and people have questions. As a consumer yourself, as somebody who buys stuff yourself, and you ask a question, wouldn't you like your question answered? If you wanted some sort of follow, some sort of like, I can't really see that clearly in the picture. Can you please send me a follow up, or can you clarify this or that or whatever? You would want an answer fairly quickly, and so I always try to answer. I mean, my inbox clean. There's no unread messages in there. And as a matter of fact, I go in there and every once it gets a little built up, a little bit too much every few days, I'll go in there and I'll just I'll make sure everything's been addressed. Make sure, because eBay will also communicate. That brings me to the next point: is eBay will also communicate to you through that messaging system. And so I'll go check everything, and then if anything can be deleted, will be deleted, anything like that. So I'll go in there and keep it cleaned out. Now, not just staying on top of customer messages. It's just good customer service, and when you rely on these customers, you should be doing your best to try to get back to them, try to provide the best customer service that you can possibly provide. For me, unless I'm driving or for some reason I can't answer the phone, I'm out of service, whatever, I'm usually very, very prompt in returning messages to customers. Very, very quickly. You could, in my feedback, one of my last feedback, someone was asking me about a mug. They just recently left me a feedback, and they were like, great communication, answers quickly. So that's really, really what I want to hear. That's what I want to see. That's what I want my customers to know about me, is that if they have any questions, I'm right there ready. Somebody was messaging me today. We were kind of going back and forth a little bit because they were asking me about a charging cord that went with a PDA, or a personal little, not a Palm Pilot. It's actually an HP variant of that, of a Palm Pilot. But they were asking me questions about the charging, how you charge it, and all that. And it just so happened I was in my shipping area, and I didn't have the device with me, but I easily was able to grab the device. And in my shipping area, I just so happened to have the charger, or it's a universal charger. And I was able to quickly, communicate like what I use and shoot pictures back and forth with the person to make that sale. Yes, it's a little bit of legwork, but we made the sale. So that's what counts here. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make the sale. So in my opinion, communication is key. You should never, never have unread messages in your messaging box. In my opinion, again, this is my opinion, People can run their business however they wish. If they want to, be that business where, people, you spend a day or two, 3 days, 4 days, who knows how long unread messages have been inside some people's inboxes. If you just want to be that person, fine. That's fine. That's the way you're running your business. But in my opinion, in order to be successful, in order to complete sales, in order to have great feedback, in order to have a healthy store where you're selling all kinds of items, respond to your customers as quickly as possible. And so that leads me to eBay does send messages through the messaging system to you. As a matter of fact, that's how I found out about the that I was the top 5 in handbag. They sent me the message through there. Then they send various messages. Some messages are a little spammy, but it's they're still trying to get information out to you. But if eBay, so there's 2 reasons why I think items may be taken down that people are not aware of, that people claim to not be aware of. And this is one of them. eBay could be messaging them regarding a potential Vero or a what's the other one? When they take it down due to a recall or something. A recall has been issued or something, and they'll take an item down. They'll send you a message. Usually that message is associated with an email. So if you do check your email regularly, that's great. But I think if you're not checking your messages, you're probably not very good at checking your email either. And I'm someone who's, like I said, I check my eBay messages all the time. I'm constantly clearing them out, reading them, addressing them. My email, box is immaculate. I keep that in order too, as well. So, and I have about 6 different email boxes, not including my work email as well too. I have about 6 different email boxes I kind of manage, and I keep those all clean, and so it's just the way I am. I like to keep those things clean and free from clutter, and I don't like to see unread messages. So eBay can be messaging them, and if you're not looking at your messages, they're just getting buried. And then good luck trying to find that message. Let's say you're like, oh, you know what? I wonder if maybe I got a Vera on this. Good luck trying to find it, because it'll be somewhere in a sea of messages. So I definitely believe that some people are getting messages that their items are getting taken down, but they're not looking at it. They're not looking at it because why? They don't look at messages. They don't look at emails. They don't keep up with this stuff. So definitely, my opinion, it's a great practice to start checking your messages as often as possible. I know sometimes you can't check it all the time. Usually member, or customer messages will come through, and it will be an actual push notification to your phone. So it makes it a little bit easier. eBay messages don't. I'm trying to think. Maybe I have it turned off or not, like that notification on there. I don't recall if I ever did that or not. But I don't get eBay, like if eBay sends me a message through the messaging system, I don't get a push notification on my phone. I'll get an email, but I won't get a push notification. So, but nonetheless, I'm in there all the time, so I'll see it. Stay on top of your messages. Not only that, it'll help you make sales as well too. The other way, someone can, or someone may believe that eBay is taking down their messages, is if you got a return coming in and you get that return, or if a cancellation, sometimes the little relist button is there, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's automatically selected, sometimes it's not. I prefer to always never relist. I will go in there and just sell similar. That's what I do. I turn that, if the switch is there to relist it, I'll always say no. But I do believe that some people are just not paying attention and going in there thinking it's going to get relisted automatically, and it just doesn't happen. So, just paying more attention to what you're doing, being more in the moment. Again, remember, if this is full-time, if you're doing this full-time, if this is your living, and if you're living off the money that you're making off of eBay, you got to have best practices. You got to be, on top of these things. If it's just a part-time, it's part-time. You can do it even full-time. If it's full-time, you can do whatever you want, really. But in my opinion, the best practice is to be on top of your messages and addressing these issues, paying attention to when you are going in there to relist your item from a return or a cancellation, paying attention to what exactly you're doing. I know there's so many distractions nowadays, but going back, checking your work and everything, you can definitely... my pen almost flew off. Going back and double checking your work. So, then the other thing too is the eBay secret, so I was like I said, I was listening to Faith Hill. Well, I wasn't necessarily listening to Faith Hill, but it came on. I grew up listening to country music, so huge country fan. I like all kinds of music. I like country, rock, rap, you name it. I like it. Favorite country music singer, Dwight Yoakam. Favorite song, Guitar and Cadillacs of all time. So that's my favorite of all time. Some other favorite artists. Right now, I'm really, really into Scandal. Right now, I've been listening to a lot of Scandal music at the moment. Band from the 80s. We're listening to some Rod Stewart as of late as well too. Another one I've been listening to in the car lately is actually one of my I don't know, maybe my favorite rapper, but he's pretty good. Is Zero, Z-R-O. Nas is my favorite rapper. Favorite song is Mastermind from Nas. I mean, Mastermind is probably my top two or three song or so right there. Joker Man, Bob Dylan. That's probably going to be my number two song right there. I that's one of my favorite songs is Joker Man. You know, when I play that song hits. So I'd probably have to say Guitars Cadillacs, Joker from Brett Yoakum, Joker Man, Bob Dylan's number two, number three, Mastermind by Nos. My top three songs. Drop in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys like out there. I mean, there's so much. I mean, I'm just thinking of other music right now. I mean, Don Henley, the Eagles. Either way, we can go down a whole rabbit hole there. But either way, Faith Hill song came on, The Secret of Life. And I was thinking, the eBay secret. What's the secret to eBay? There is no secret to eBay. The secret is buy low, sell high. That's it. There's no like secret sauce. There's no, everybody's trying to figure out, do I do this? What do I sell? Do I go in there, sell, do I sell t-shirts? Do I sell jeans? Do I sell shoes? You just got to be able to buy low and sell high. That's all you got to do. That's how to be successful. Now finding what is successful and what works, as far as what you're selling, that could be a bit the difficult part. Now, or the tough part. Tough part is knowing what to buy and what's selling on eBay or what you can sell on eBay. I'm going to show you an item in the what solds that has, I'm a big, not necessarily going against high sell-through rate, because high sell-through rate can be incredibly helpful to beginners, people just starting out, just learning, how to sell items, basically, how to sell anything. And they can definitely help you following the data, following the numbers, seeing what's proven and what is working can help you make sales right away. I haven't talked about this in a while, or haven't mentioned this in a while, but kind of growing beyond that and trying to, seeing items that, hey, I know there's no information on this. I know the data does not support, that this item will sell, but I know that item will sell. I know I can get it sold. So I have an item coming up that I'll show you guys where there's zero sell-through rate. I just created the sell-through rate on that item, created the first, data on it. Who knows if anybody else will come around and try to sell that again, but I saw it and I was like, I know that could sell that thing, and I definitely did sell it. But so kind of growing beyond sell-through rate, it takes time and it takes experience, and it takes just a little bit of effort to be able to do that. But you need somewhere to start. Why not start in sell-through rate? When I was starting reselling on eBay, selling anything in general, there was no such. We didn't look at sell-through. We didn't even know. We didn't even hear sell-through rate. I didn't even hear sell-through rate until I started seeing it on YouTube, seeing people talking about it. But high sell-through rate is going to be a moving target. It's going to be something that changes all the time. There will be, some like Apple products will probably always be popular. They're not going for as much as they used to, but just something that, will always consistently be popular. Levi's will always consistently be popular. But there are things that will come and go. Like, right now everybody's into Wicked, and Wicked stuff is just selling like, I think it's starting to go down a little bit, but just selling like hotcakes. You're getting great profit for those items, but eventually that will fade, and then something else will come up in its place. Barbie was crazy out of control when the Barbie movie came out, and so chasing high sell-through rate is always going to be a moving target, and you always have to stay on top of it. And like I said, it's going to be great for you to do that, to use that, to follow high sell-through rate in the beginning when you're first starting to learn online or selling in general, just selling anything, reselling. So, and eBay is a great way You're using the what has sold, what is currently listed. It's the de facto or the default way to be able to determine what you could sell online, no matter what platform you're. Excuse me. No matter what platform you're selling on. Hold on, really quick. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. But so high sell-through rate is going to constantly be a moving target. Trying to find items that are, timeless, items that will always sell, and like I said, brands like Levi, brands like Apple, those things will constantly be selling. Computer components. I've been reselling computer components for a long time on eBay, and that's something that has just never gone out of style. It has always sold. Yes, prices do fluctuate, but I sell old, graphics cards 15 years ago. What was it? Let me try to, from back from the early 2000s. That's like 20 years ago. I've sold graphics cards from that era. Those things still sell. Computer components still sell. Old, ancient computer components. I've talked about what's ancient and vintage in computer years or computer time. Yeah, vintage computer stuff is, 5 years, 10 years old, and then beyond that, it's antique. So, and that stuff still sells, and it sells very, very consistently. Obviously, the modern stuff sells, but all the older stuff still moves as well too. Obviously, there's a bit of a learning curve when it comes to computer stuff, computer components. It's not an easy thing to do, not an easy thing to test. First of all, because you got to be able to test this stuff to get maximum dollar, but you got to be able to find those items. And there's so many different categories that have items where they're just always going to sell. And being able to identify them, I hope that I'm providing you the information. I hope that you're seeing the items that I'm buying. You're seeing the items that I'm showing you that have sold. That helps you to be able to identify, like, not just that item, like not just I need to buy this item and that's it, but why I purchased that item. Obviously, you're not there to see the quality. I picked up a vase not too long ago. It was I was able to see the vase and identify the quality visually. Then once I picked it up, I was like, okay, this is great quality. When I'm going through the purses, I don't know if every single purse is a great brand to buy, but I know what's great quality when I feel through the purses. When I'm looking at the purses, I know what's great quality. And then when I find one, I'm like, oh, let me just do a little bit more of an investigative, look up the name. What's the name on this one? If it's something good, check the stitching on it. What's the quality of leather? What's the inside? What's the lining like? So, there's so many different variables that go into this. And, it's hard to... It takes a long time. It's not necessarily... It is hard, but more or less it takes time. It takes time to learn all these things. So, there's no secret. There is no secret. It's just buy low and sell high. Everybody has, maybe a niche that they specialize in. Everybody has knowledge. There's other people that know more about me in certain categories that I don't, like clothing. There's people that know way more in clothing than me. I just know the surface. But then there's some people, where I know more about computers. I know more about Legos than them. I know more, as a matter of fact, somebody posted a picture of this Lego, of a Lego collection of Legos. They said, should I buy this? Yeah, it was $50 for a big collection, and mostly city stuff, Lego city, vehicles. But there were 3 sets in there, and they were not Legos. Now, to someone who's just looking at it from the outside that doesn't really know it, they're thinking everything's just Legos. Well, 3 sets I was able to, because I know that Lego doesn't make those, and I could tell, but just by the pieces, that those are not Lego pieces. They're actually Mega Blocks. And Mega Blocks can have some pretty good value if you get the right sets. And sure enough, 2 of them were from from Call of Duty. One of them was from Halo, and other people were telling them, don't buy it. Those look like fakes, but they were not fake Legos. They were just a different brand. And the Call of Duty sets, each of them went for about $50 a pop. And then the Halo one, I think, last sold for about $75. And then the other Lego pieces, they were still good to buy. Just if you were just buying those Legos for $50, it wasn't going to be a good deal. But the fact that the other three were great Mega Block sets made it like a really good deal, in my opinion. So, they're some people that just have more advanced knowledge. I'm pretty sure there are categories or, things that you collect out there that you have incredible knowledge about that you could go out there and find and resell on eBay. Trust me, there's a collectors for everything. There's always a collector out there. There's always people looking for items, and use your expertise. Whatever you're an expert in, use it. If you just want to get started, if you don't like what you're an expert in and you want to move into another category, maybe use your expertise to get you going in one category as while you start learning other categories as well too. So, okay, that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and move on to the what sold, because I want to show you this first one here. Go right here. Okay. Oh, and I had a return. I had a return come in. It was a Hello Kitty radio that I had sold. It was it was in a video not too long ago. They returned it saying that the volume, they go, well, the volume goes really high, then it goes really low. It goes really high, really low. So I'm like, all right, just return it. Don't mess. Just set up a return, right? So they opened up a return saying the item didn't work. I'm like, it's a item not as described. You generally don't want those. So I got it back in the mail, and I was like, all right, let me just retest it again. Let me get it out. So I tested the radio. It was radio and CD player. So I tested the radio. Radio was fine, just like normal. So I popped the CD in, testing it out, tested another CD in. Everything was perfectly fine. So I'm like, that's annoying. I bet I have a feeling. What I have a feeling was it was supposed to be white, and pink, but the white was pretty yellowed, and I'm pretty sure once they got it, they were like, no, yeah, I didn't like the fact it was yellow. I'm pretty sure that's the reason why they did it. And this person is a seller on eBay, and they probably know that if I say anything else other than item not described, I'm not going to get the original shipping back. So they go, I'm going to automatically put items not working. I'm going to send a message, kind of like those, kind of like when, if you're at work and you're like, I want to call out sick. So you start, I was watching some meme on this recently. They're like, you start coughing, you start acting sick, like getting ready to call out sick for the day. And I think that's what a lot of people do. People that return items, they'll preemptively send a message like, hey, da 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 da, send a message to kind of butter you up a little bit, and then boom, return. So either way, I got it back, and I did end up reporting the buyer. There's a way to report it. I didn't hold the money back. I refunded everything, and then I just reported them saying, I got the item back. Everything works perfectly fine. And so, it's in eBay's hands. I may get the shipping back. Who knows? But what was great was I relisted it, and it sold within a matter of about 2 or 3 minutes after I relisted it. So it's off to its next buyer. All right. As you can see, I already have this item up here. It is a rooster. Now, this Cathay Bank does, they put out items associated with different New Year's, Chinese New Year, that is. And typically they are ceramic pieces. I've seen banks, but I have never seen a glass piece like this. And it's really, really cool. If you see this in person, it's actually a really, really nice piece. I'm not really into roosters. If it was a dragon or something really cool, or I think I'm near the monkey, if I remember correctly. If it was a monkey, I might have kept it, but not really in the rooster. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna try to sell this. I know I could sell this. It's well made. It's not, the best, glass in the world. It's not a Murano piece or anything like that, but it's still an incredibly well made piece. Not only that, but anytime I find any of these zodiac sign animals, they sell pretty well. They don't necessarily sell very fast, but they sell pretty well. I had a whole collection of ceramic ones not too long ago, and I sold them all off over the course of a few months. I don't think I have any other than the rooster. I think I'm all out. I just sold the dragon, a glass dragon sculpture too as well. I just sold that. Obviously Chinese New Year is going to be coming up here pretty soon, so a lot of these things will be flying off the shelves, but anything associated with these zodiac signs, they sell incredibly well. And this one here sold for $35.37, and the shipping was $10.69 on the shipping. It was just a well-made piece. There was no sell-through rate. There was no data. Everything told me, do not buy this item. Do not buy this. It's not going to resell. You're not going to be able to sell it. There's no way to price it. There's no way to figure out how much it's worth. Nothing. So typically, in that case, I should have left it behind, but I didn't. I knew based on my experience. I used my experience to be able to sell this item. To tell me, my experience was telling me, buy this item, and I bought it and sold it. It's a really cool piece, glass rooster, not anything associated, but well-made pieces associated with the zodiac signs, Chinese New Year. Keep your eye out for them. Especially right now, Chinese New Year is coming up, so this stuff will sell pretty well. Should sell pretty well coming up to the Chinese New Year. I got to do a thumbnail really quick. I keep neglecting the thumbnail on this video here, so I'll just do my little, I don't know, funny face. It doesn't, for me, I'm like, I don't know what to do for the, I just want to make the thumbnail clear, concise, and hopefully grabs some people's attention, hopefully. But cool item. Keep your eye out for this. Like I said, keep your eye out for items associated with with zodiac signs, Chinese New Year, well-made pieces, animals. Animals do incredibly well. Roosters, barnyard animals, cats do really well. Like I said, cats do better than dogs. Dogs still do well, but cats do way better. So keep your eye out for these things. Really cool item. Really cool sale. Let me see which direction I have to go in. There we go. Is that the right one? Is that the right direction I'm going in? Yes. Okay, because I wrote it down in the opposite direction. All right. What do we have? These Viewmaster reels. Now, these aren't incredibly valuable. It's not like I'm making a bunch of money off these. $7.07 is what these two sold for. $5.09 was the shipping. That little rooster. The rooster went in a 6x6 by 6x6 box. These ones here just went in a flat padded envelope. I did put these in a padded envelope. But not incredible value just for one or two. However, I have I think I have 43 of these things right here, and not all of them are necessarily in sets of two. And on average, we're probably looking around $3 to $4 each. Some of them are priced up a little bit more just based on the comps. None of them are like crazy. Like, I think the most one single one is around $6 or so. But multiply that times 40. And not only that, I got this in a big old bundle at the flea market. So I had these sitting in my, on my shelf over here. I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with them. Was going to sell them as a whole lot. Was going to do them individual. I did opt to do it individually because Someone had messaged me about another lot I have. They asked me, can I just buy the one piece out of the lot? And I was like, I really want to sell the whole lot because, the other items aren't really that incredibly valuable, but I opted to sell something out of a lot. And I was like, all right, never mind. I'll just, sell the other thing for a little bit cheaper. I'll still make money on it. And, with that fresh in my mind, I was like, you know what? Let's just get these listed and I'll list them all individually. Some people might not want the whole collection. Some people might want to cherry pick. So I'm going to give them the option. I don't mind selling these really cheap because we'll be over, over $100 in profit on this item. Probably more in the range of about $120 to $150 on the lot of just these. So pretty good. Obviously, it's going to take a little bit of time. It's going to spread it all out. So, we'll make $7, over $7 here on these ones. Actually, probably a little bit less than $7 because, you got to account for the shipping supplies, all that, the fees. But nonetheless, we're still going to make some great money on the whole lot overall. And not only that, it got us a bunch of listings as well, too, that we can list on eBay. Obviously, smaller profit, but we're moving a bunch of items. Another thing I'm moving a lot of right now are the Mary-Kate and Ashley VHSs. They're not incredibly valuable. They're right around $5 a VHS, but they're just consistently selling. And I got a gigantic lot of those. So that's pretty cool. So I get messages from people trying to break up lots, and that was fresh in my mind when I was doing this. So I was like, all right, I'll just, list all these individually instead of getting those messages. Can I just buy this? That's, kind of annoying because then you have to break up the set, and maybe you didn't have the initial, your intention was to include some cheaper items with that to kind of make it worth it, not just for you, but for the buyer as well, too. So I was like, well, whatever. We'll just slowly make all our money back on this. Okay. So that was pretty cool. But, it's still great. Still a great sale. We're still making money, and we're still making sales here. Lemax. I don't think I mentioned Lemax before, but Lemax, Department 56, these holiday town, village, building things sets do really well. This one sold incredibly fast. This sold within a day of me listing it. And it's Santa Claus. And it's actually electric. He moves around the little stem there. So I just picked this up too. I picked it up and I got to get this listed right away. So as soon as I picked it up, I got home, tested it, got it listed, and sold it within a day. And it sold for, as a matter of fact, what happened, I actually got a offer on this initially. It sold for $26.11. $10.69 was is the shipping. And I got an offer, really, really low ball offer of $14 on the item. I was like, ooh, $14. I would have liked to have got over $20. And in the moment while I was thinking about it, boom, someone came in. I was thinking about what to counter, basically. Someone came right in and bought it, full price. I undersold it a little bit. I probably could have gotten around 30, maybe a little bit more than 30. But again, this Christmas item, Christmas is right here. So I was like, I'm going to get it out quick. And not only that, with these Christmas items that I have been selling, I've been getting them out same day. So I could definitely do that. If you can do that, obviously, it's better on the customer side if you can get them out that same day. I have the ability to be able to do that. Obviously, if someone, buys it at 4:30, that would be kind of pushing it. I could probably still get something out by 4:30, same day. I probably could. I definitely could, actually. But that would be kind of pushing it. But by 4 o'clock, if anybody gets the order by 4 o'clock, if it's Christmas-wise, I'm going to go try to get it out of here. Because I know they're going to want it as soon as possible because it is Christmas and they would want to get it set up. So, Thinking about the customer, always thinking about the customer, always thinking about what the customer wants. Put yourself in the customer's shoes. Take yourself out of your seller's shoes. Put yourself in the customer's shoes. What do they want? And you will find success that way. That's another secret, by the way. Added to my secret of selling on eBay. Okay, headphones, wireless headphones, Bluetooth headphones. I think you guys know Bose, Sony, all those other brands do really well. Here's another brand, AKG. Keep your eye out for these headphones. They do incredibly well. The brand name does incredibly well. Not necessarily these exact headphones, but the brand is a good brand. Keep your eye out for them. These sold for $43.66. $8.29 what they paid in shipping. Keep forgetting these went in a padded poly bag. The Santa Claus actually went in a padded poly bag as well too. I was able to fit that in one of my larger sizes. And I think I already said the Viewmaster went in a padded poly bag as well too. So AKG is a great brand to look out for. Keep your eye out for them. Not necessarily the wired ones, but definitely the wireless ones do incredibly well. And when I saw them, I knew exactly that they'd be worth it. Well, I think the price was about $4 on these, if I remember correctly. So we're making a pretty good profit on it. They don't go for as much as Bose or Sony, but they still go for some pretty good money, in my opinion. Keep your eye out. AKG headphones. And then the last item here is a keychain. Not just any keychain, but League of Legends. So gaming, PC gaming, the game's incredibly popular. So when I first saw it, I didn't initially know it was League of Legends. I knew it had something to do with gaming. I initially thought Final Fantasy, but I took a picture of it really quick with Google Image, and it told me it was League of Legends. So picked it up, of course. Sold for $14.30. This is from the flea market. Big old bundle was what it was in. $5.56. Pretty sure it's 56 cents. $5.56 to ship this one out. Keep gaming stuff, gaming accessories, gaming action figures. Do incredibly well. Obviously you got to look for the popular games. League of Legends is incredibly popular. It's an old game, but it's still incredibly popular. World of Warcraft is another one that's really, really popular. Final Fantasy is incredibly popular. What are some others? I don't know why BioShock is popping out of my head, but BioShock they put some not action. I mean, I think they do have some action figures, but they had some sculptures that they sold as collector's editions with their games. Those do incredibly well. Like the collectors, sometimes with games they will sell like collector's editions. Like they have the normal game, which is like $50 or $60, and then they'll have like a $120 or $150 variant, and it comes with an action figure or comes with a sculpture. So keep your eye out for those as well too. The one I missed, I don't know if you guys caught it in a video, but I mentioned this. The action figures I had missed were not too long ago. Were from from the movie Hellboy. They're from the Hellboy movie. I can't believe I missed those, but I think in the video I happened to mention I had a headache. I really wasn't on my game at that time, but they're Hellboy action figures, and they sold really well. So I was like, I can't believe. Not only that, but I'm a huge Hellboy fan. Fan of the movie, fan of the comics. Really, really good. That's a really, really, just so you know, this Maker's Mark is a really hot bourbon. So, might need probably could use a little bit of water, but it's still really, really good on its own like that. Okay, that's everything. Like I said, I'm still recovering here, everybody. As you probably heard, I'm still coughing just a little bit. Hopefully, this all clears up before Christmas because it's really, really annoying. I don't think anybody likes being sick, but Christmas is right around the corner. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below of what we discussed, or what I discussed, basically, with you. Let me know what you guys think of the what sold. Either way, we'll catch you in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Hey, you've made it to the end. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this content, please like the video by hitting the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel by hitting my little round icon down below. It really does help us out here. Also, you'll find a couple of selections. You'll see a playlist of videos to watch and my most recent video that I did upload.